There was a time I used to look into my father's eyes. In a happy home, I was a king, I had a golden throne. Those days are gone.
My name is Allison Lawler, and I am a junior at Ramapo College of New Jersey. I am studying literature and teacher education in hopes that one day I will be a high school English teacher. Throughout this video, I will be talking about my goals and aspirations, what I want to achieve in the future, why I chose teaching as my career path, and who inspired me to become a teacher. Teaching has, and always will be, a combination of my interests, goals, and aspirations. I'm a highly motivated and determined woman who strives to make a difference in young people's lives. As my career goal, I strive to work in a school where I can further develop my students and myself as a whole. I aim to make a positive difference in the lives of every person my career involves me with. I want to enlighten young lives with my knowledge and shape students into young adults. In the future, I want to graduate Ramapo College of New Jersey with a literature and teacher's education degree. A long-term goal of mine is to be a high school teacher and bring a positive change to my workplace. Once I land a job, I want to continue to help the school by becoming a coach. In high school, sports is something that truly made a positive influence on my high school career. This experience is something that I would love to give my students. My cousin, Christina Panetta, is a teacher at my previous high school, Ritual Park Junior-Senior High School, and she was also my cheerleading coach at the time. Having a close relationship with her and having her support and guidance throughout my 4 years of high school truly made such a difference. I knew that I could go to her at any time of the day and she would assist me on absolutely anything, whether it be stress, school, cheerleading, family issues, or anything else that goes on in a teenager's life. She was always there for me. This is a role that I would like to play in my students' lives. Ever since I was a little girl, becoming a teacher is all that I wanted for my future. I never cared about the money, time that is taken out of school hours, dealing with teenagers and parents, and the nonstop schooling that seems to go on forever. No matter what the negative aspects are, my heart is set on becoming a teacher because the positive outtakes on being someone that influences young lives for the better drowns out any financial and time-consuming negatives. When I was in the 2nd grade and was asked for the first time what I wanted to be when I grew up, I could not think of anything, so I blurted out, a teacher. And when I had to back up my statement, my 8-year-old self is what made me realize that, yeah, I was right. When I told my 2nd grade teacher, Mrs. Barber, that I wanted to be a teacher because I love enlightening younger or uneducated learners about the knowledge that I obtain and watch the learning process happen, I had no idea that that would be the actual drive that pushed me to become a teacher. The sole fact that because of me, a peer is now educated on a subject that was once unfamiliar is amazing. Knowing that I am the reason that they are now more educated than they once were is an amazing feeling. When talking about this at the age of 8, I was realistically referring to my little brother and the two younger girls that my mom babysat. But as time went on, my audience of learners grew, and so did that excellent feeling that spreading my knowledge gave me. Growing up with a mother who is also a teacher made my desire to work in the education field increase. I noticed the passion that my mom had when talking about her job, and she never complained about working. She truly loves going to work. This is something that I look forward to have in my future. She talks about her students as if they were her second family, and she used to tell me all of the stories that her kids gave her that day. Living the life of a teacher is very eventful, and because every student is so different, they truly bring something new to the table every day. My mom sparked an interest in me at a very young age, and ever since that day that Mrs. Barber asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I encountered new reasons to go forward with teaching every day. Although many people had an impact on my career choice, it was not until my junior year of high school that I had an English teacher, Mr. Reeves, who truly inspired me to become a high school English teacher. From the ages of 8 through 16, I always considered teaching the passing of educational knowledge from master to beginner. Mr. Reeves completely changed that view for me. Mr. Reeves not only taught us how to do well in standardized testing, which most teachers solely focus on at this age, but how to be phenomenal writers, observers, evaluators, and all-around successful people that know how to manage this world. Mr. Reeves was not just an English teacher. He was a mentor that taught his students life skills and how to strive to be the absolute best that they can be. The one thing that Mr. Reeves taught me that year that still sticks in my mind is that in order to achieve anything, one must think outside the box and beat out the ordinary thinkers. He taught us to break the norm in ways that would make us achieve. Mr. Reeves did not believe in your standardized 5-paragraph essays with 4 sentences per paragraph. If you wanted to have a paragraph with 2 sentences, you go for it, but make sure they are concrete and substantial sentences. It was okay to be different in that class. It was okay to not like writing. And because we were not forced and did not have to follow strict guidelines of a typical essay, students liked writing, including myself. Now that I knew I wanted to go into the literature field of education, this is where the fun began. I struggled because I am not a fan of reading and I am not the best writer in the world, but I have a passion for teaching younger students of the things that matter. I plan to be just like Mr. Reeves. I want to prepare my students for college writing. I feel that in high school I was definitely not prepared for the papers that I would have to write in college. I was instructed to write 5-paragraph essays on topics that no student was interested in and how to read SparkNotes 5 minutes before class started. This is something that I want to change. I want to open minds of my students and make them want to read the books and enjoy writing papers. I want students to be able to pick the things that they write about because it sparks an interest. I want to listen to my students and work with them on having a well-executed classroom rather than a teacher-dominant environment. I want to become someone that my future students can look to when they feel they have nowhere else to go. I want to be not only their coach, teacher, and friend, but a role model that they can turn to and admire. Although I have heard time and time again that I should choose a different career path if I ever wanted to find a job, or if I'm lucky enough to land a job, I need a miracle to happily live off the pay that I will get from teaching. I have more negative comments that were said to me than positive ones, but to me, money is not something that should affect one's career choice. If you have the passion and desire, you should go for it. I am well aware of the financial downfall of teaching, and it has absolutely no influence on my career choice. I chose to become a teacher because I want to look forward to going to work and go through the day knowing that I am doing what I love.